Hello. Yeah, aloha. I love that first breath. I love breathing. I love breathing. I think if I didn't breathe, I would just die. Joking. Well, not really. That's quite true. Okay, what am I here for today? I did have a thought. It was about love and about, you know, that saying, it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved before. And that just popped in my head. And then it kind of took off on a different angle that I hadn't really thought of before. And where it took me was how, or the understanding that we actually have many false loves in our life that we think is love. It kind of comes in sort of looking like love in the beginning. And though as it unfolds and then especially comes to a final conclusion or ending, that maybe it wasn't love, because if it was love, maybe it would last. Maybe love is lasting. So, but, but, it's the false loves that we have, because I feel like too, I think we're too fast. I think in our society, I don't know, look at all the movies that have this teenage love as young children wanting to have boyfriends and girlfriends. I don't know if that's a good idea. I kind of feel now in hindsight, over the 5 decades that I have traversed the sun, that, what am I saying? That we're way too quick, and the first love we should have, and I think we have it at birth, is our self-love. And then probably from that, oh, I feel I'm just going to move back a bit and adjust. I have to really, what I need to do, because I normally just sit down, turn it on, da da da, and I haven't properly set myself up. I should do something about that. Maybe, who cares? You know, like I've said, I am not a professional whatsoever. I just am. I don't want to give myself any tags or labels whatsoever, because I feel like when we do that, we diminish ourselves or split ourselves, and I don't think it's healthy to categorize ourselves and put ourselves in boxes. But anyway, let me get back before I get off track. So perhaps our first love is ourselves, as we come in as this pure little innocent little bundle of energy, love and light. And then that love also, the first loves are with our parents, more than likely with our mother first, as we have that connection. And if the mother, the mother is breastfeeding and you have that closeness, you're so connected. And the fact that a baby is being carried for 9 months, that connection is huge. Like, the baby was grown from our body. Isn't that amazing? Like, as women, we're like freaking portals, bringing life in from the galactics, from interstellar places, from spirit. We are a freaking portal. I think we should talk more about that and about how special it is, how we bring life in. So, getting back, let me see if I can stay on track today. So our first love is ourselves, and then it starts extending to mother, to father, to brother, to sister, and then we go into life. But I feel at a point we get pulled off track and feel the need to want to love another in a romantic sense, in a true love sense. Whereas I think along the way, perhaps we get pulled away from our self love. And I'm saying that because that is from my experience. I think when I was really young, I absolutely loved myself. I was like not even really fully aware that I wasn't separate from everything. If I'm going back, and my memories go back pretty early, like I do remember being a baby. I remember being pretty little, and I remember thinking and then seeing certain scenarios like being at my grandparents and being in the back garden. And from my memories, I thought I was older, but when I actually saw photos later, and I went, I remember that. I remember what I was thinking. I remember watching my sister, and she was wearing this nightie dress. Well, I found out later it was a nightie that she wore as a dress because she loved it. But I remember the dress. I remember my brother wearing these little yellow shorts and some wide, like lighter top. And I remember that. And when I saw the photos and then I saw me, I went, geez, I wasn't even a year old. I was little, but I remember thinking. And I remember loving everything, loving me, not even, there's no judgment, there's no criticism, there just was. I was just a happy little chappy. And then going into life, I feel like I was pretty happy and wonderful and expressive and felt vibrant and lovely until I went to school. Even kindy, like I do remember in kindy looking around and watching the kids and going, do they think like I think? Do they? Like my mind was already pretty kind of stretching out there from that age, thinking about the stars and life and the world and everything. Like I recall snippets of thought from those times and wondering and kind of going, I don't know if they do think the same. If you did when you were that young, tell me. I'd love to know. And yeah, at school, I remember going really inward. I felt vulnerable. I was scared. I just wanted to stay at home with my mum. It was a big shift, and I think my self-love started disappearing. My love for myself and just feeling part of everything shifted at that time. If I'm reflecting, this is so interesting because this was not any thoughts I've had before. Well, the memories are, but the relation to that's when I shifted in myself. But I'm very clear now as I'm thinking, as I'm talking on the spot in the moment, that's when things changed. And that's when I got depressed even and scared in the world and didn't feel like I fit in or I was part of everything else. I thought everyone else was given a map, a guidebook, an understanding of how this society worked, but me. And I'm like, why didn't I get one? Why was I left out of the loop when they handed out the manuals? And that was through primary school and high school. Even though I tried to fit in, I pretended, I watched and copied. But there was always this disconnection from the beginning of school. And it's taken me a long time to come back round. And I spent a lot of time not loving myself, not putting into myself, and always putting other people's value first and feeling like they are higher, they are greater, they are more worthy. I think I have talked about this before. I've talked about this with some of my lovely friends, and it's so interesting that a lot of us, and I'm even wondering if it's all of us, go through this passage of learning our worth through this valley of shadows that cause us to come back to ourselves. I do joke sometimes because I do know and feel that I have, one moment please, walked through the valley of the shadow of death. Sorry, I have to be dramatic there, but I I have felt, I have done that, and you may have done that too. It's not easy, and it does come after. I don't know what that word means. Maybe I should look it up. Sometimes we have things pop out and they might be a trail to follow. After, I'm going to write that down. After, after we, through whatever life circumstance causes us to start going inward and going within ourselves and meeting ourselves in our own darkness and not being afraid of the dark, meeting the darkness and not going into fear, because we all have a light and dark side. We have our divine masculine, our divine feminine, and that is an important part of us because we need contrast, apparently. Apparently. I think I just want the light, happy stuff. But no, just joking. No, I'm not. But I understand how it can be necessary to cause us to understand polarity, to understand the world, to understand everyone and everything in it. And I did go within, and I've been going within for quite a number of years now, and I met my dark side. And instead of being scared, and maybe I was a little at first, like we all have the potential to do really good things or really bad things. The important part is choosing the right path for yourself and all others. That's really important. So it's not just, I'm only going to choose good things for me. When we're choosing also with the all in mind, because we are all each other, just coming from a different perspective. So I'm at my dark side, deep within the caverns of self. And instead of being afraid, I embraced her. I embraced her with love instead of being afraid and hating her, this part of me, this other side. I embraced and I forgave her, and I feel like I integrated that darkness. So I feel this is important. Instead of being afraid and hating it and wanting to cast out, said dark demon. It's not a demon. Our dark side is not a demon, even though dark sides can do demon-like things if they are out of balance. If we do, I feel like something to do. For every action, there is equal or opposite reaction. So if we attack our dark side, it will fight back. It will defend itself. It will feel the need to retaliate. As would imagine an animal in the wild, if you come in through friendship, through love. Don't do this with a hungry bear or wolf. Perhaps the scenario could work out better. I don't know if that's the best analogy. But if you come in on the attack, what do you think is going to happen? Of course, say, an animal is going to defend itself or attack back. And same with our dark side. Our dark side will mirror us. Ooh, should I write this down? It's all right, Kay, you're doing a video. That's like writing things down. So our dark side will mirror us, and I didn't know that when I went within. And this is me. I'm talking on the spot here. I haven't really told anyone this. When I went within, and oh, that's my alarm. I'm just going to switch that off. I know what I got to do later. So, what was I saying? So, yeah, I have not really talked about this. So, when I did go within, and it was a deep dive, and I met my dark side, I think there was a moment of shock, of perhaps I had a millisecond of fear, but something in me, and I didn't know this at the time, must have known not to be afraid, must have known not to attack, because our dark will mirror us. So I did embrace, and I did forgive, and I did integrate, because the dark side of us is not all evil, is not all chaos. Our dark side holds a lot of strength and the ability to, oh, my nose, itchy. Is that something on here? Hang on. My nose has went. Okay, so it is a strong part of us. Our darkness does set boundaries. Our darkness is firm. Our darkness has discernment. Our darkness can create worlds. And it doesn't have to be a dark world. It has action. It is able to see different perspectives that we might not just see if we're just looking from light and love. So that's why it's important too. And I've also found, I know a lot of people talk about ego death, and at one point I kind of subscribed to that, but then I had a bit of an internal journey that told me otherwise, that our ego, when it's balanced, is an important part of who we are. If we don't have an ego, it's like we're spineless. We're like a plate of jelly. Our ego is what inspires us to create and to do things and to want to inspire others and to build businesses and empires and cities and schools and everything. And it is a really important part. It's just we want to make sure it's actually balanced. And it's a healthy ego. It's when it's out of balance, out of center, not in check, that we can do horrible things or be mean. It can be on all different tiers of levels. So I don't think we're meant to kill our ego off. I think that is a misconception, because we still need both sides. And I think that's important, because if we are all love and light with no eagle, let me write that down. I have had eagles coming up a lot, eagles and hawks, very interesting. And then I saw 2 black cockatoos the other day. Whenever I see or hear them, I can hear them from miles away. Boy, they get my attention. I do have a black cockatoo story that I will tell sometime, but I won't get off track now. It's phenomenal. It's like literally a sky full of black cockatoos flying around my house. That is a good story. I would save it for another video, because it's already 2022. So yes, it's really important to balance, and I have gotten off track. I am going to just go back to the false loves. So the false loves can put us off love. And there is that better to have loved and lost. But I feel like we keep having false loves. And then for some of us at some point, in order to protect ourselves from the pain, we decide we would rather not have love and not go through the situations. But what we don't realize is that the loves that we had were not real loves. They were false loves because we got too caught up in the busyness of life. We just jumped into things, and then you get emotionally attached, and the next thing you know, years have gone past. And everything holds value because also we all came in here as teachers and students with each other. So really there's no bad love, but I know a lot of people have had a lot of pain in the name of, I'm going to go back to the false love. But it's so important, do not allow the false loves to close you off to the true love, because that is kind of by design. That is something implanted in our system, this busyness, keeping people in this groundhog week that I've talked about, and also striving to have something now. And instead of really loving yourself first, that's where I got off track for 20 minutes. So our first true love is ourselves, and then we get off track and lose that potentially, and we need to come back round. And really in our society, it would be great if we nurtured that true love with ourselves, so we know that it's important to really set the foundation of ourself and our lives first before we even think of looking out for that romantic true love. And I do believe in true love. Look at all the movies we make about it. One of my favorites is The Princess Bride. I love that movie. I should watch that movie again. I don't really watch movies. I don't watch any TV at all, really. I do occasionally watch stuff with the kids. I used to watch it more, but then more and more I'm seeing these underlying currents of layers of indoctrination and nefariousness. And I don't even really want my children to watch it, but I can't shut them off from everything. I think the important thing is to share with them the potential that some things may not be good for them and allow them to start using their discernment. So, okay, let me just see if I can wrap this up. Do not let false loves in life shut you off, shut you down into the protective mode from true love, because it is a thing, but you may not have experienced it yet. In order to experience it, I believe we must fall in love with ourselves in a balanced, centered way, and then we will be in the frequency that will match with someone else, the true love. And then I don't know what happens. I'm not there yet. I don't know what happens. Okay, on that note, racking up the minutes, I'm going to pop back out. I do have a busy day, so I thought I would just come and do this early and then get my skates on, get my game head on, and get on with the day. But wherever you are, near or far, I hope you're having a beautiful morning, arvo, evening. Sending much love and hope for a wonderful life experience for you, and I will pop back in tomorrow.